Oh, Diame! Here's Hulk! Diame! The cross and it was Bale! Oh, they did it! I cannot believe it! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again!
Hello everyone, we are Through on Go, a podcast where we talk about football and pretty much nothing else. My name is Sam, and as always, I'm joined by my very best friend in the whole wide world and co-host, and tonight, my Valentine. It's Elliot. Hi, Elliot.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah, hi.
Wow. Do I really mean that much to you?
I wasn't expecting that.
Awful. You just said that's awful. I laid my heart out on the line for you there, and you said that was awful. Oh, okay. Let me start again. We're Through on Goal. I'm Sam. This is Elliot.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. How was your week, Elliot?
Same old lockdown as ever. It's just slightly colder, isn't it?
Oh,
that's it, yeah.
I do apologise if you hear my teeth throughout this podcast.
It's been a cold
my
one.
kitchen is freezing. But yeah, that's the same with me.
Yeah.
The highlight of my week, I think, was going out and finding out the car still starts. So.
Oh yeah, my low light was going out and finding out my car didn't start. So.
Oh wow, what contrasted weeks we've had.
Yeah.
Right, let's talk about football then. ILKAY Gündoğan, player of the season?
I mean, he's definitely the player of the last couple of months, hasn't he?
I can't think of right now. Yeah.
He was never this good. He's not like he's a youngster who's just emerged on the scene. He's probably late 20s, maybe even 30, and he's all of a sudden decided he's going to become world class.
Yep, he's 30 years old. Previous seasons he's played in the Premier League, he has scored 3, scored 4, scored 6, scored 2. This season he has scored 11 and assisted 1.
And I think I'm right in saying that the first of those goals came in December as well. They've all been
really
recent. I don't know if it's maybe coincided when De Bruyne got injured, so he's had to play a little bit further up, and then they're spending a lot of time playing without a recognised striker as well. So is he playing a sort of false nine? He's almost playing the most advanced role.
I agree with you. I've never seen him as a goal scorer. He's always just kind of that, I guess, reliable midfielder. He's he does the job, but I don't know what's happened. I don't know where this has come from. It's been ridiculous. I don't even know really what to say because I didn't see it coming. But he's always had class. He's always been a very, very good player at what he does, but he seems to be adding a bit more to his game. But it's this Man City team, like, he's obviously a shining light at this moment in time, but you can't. Is it 15 games unbeaten in the league?
It's something like that. 15 wins, isn't it?
I saw this ridiculous. It was the ridiculous stat because we love a good stat, and it was on Match of the Day, and they did a graphic of since Tottenham beat Man City in November. I think they've played 15-ish games, 15, 16 games. Man City have got 41 points from since then. Now Tottenham have only got 16.
And
awful.
At that point, Tottenham were being talked about as
contenders.
Yeah, contenders. Yeah, definitely.
Well, who hasn't been talked as contenders? But yeah, no, we were talking about it. Yeah, we were like, could this be the year? Tottenham squad, but it just hasn't been.
Just dropped off a cliff, hasn't it? They've gone completely sort of contrasting ways.
It's the I think it's individual errors right now is talked about a lot. I think with Tottenham, and it's fair to say Højbjerg has been one of the signs of the season. It's not hard to. I don't think you can't put it past it, but it's he's given away 2 penalties in 2 games.
Yeah,
seems to be a bit lacking. Lloris, I don't know what's happened to his wrists, but you shoot, anything goes through him. And there's the rotation in the defence constantly. There's no 2 set centre backs, or if there is, it's Dyer and someone else, but Dyer has not been good this season. He's been slow, and then obviously right backs Doherty, he hasn't had a good start. Aurier can't be trusted. Tanganga's played there. Sissoko's played there. Reguilon's been missed, so Ben Davies has played there, and he's just not up to scratch. And yeah, it's a massive problem at Tottenham. And
it's not a Jose Mourinho defence, is it? It just isn't. There isn't that John Terry. There isn't that Sergio Ramos. There isn't that sort of player who gives you confidence.
No, definitely not. Not in that squad. And Man City have absolutely proven it. Obviously, Tottenham are a very counter-attacking team. That's one of their main gameplays. But Man City just cancelled them out instantly. Just, no, absolutely not. And that's without Diaz in centre-back, because he obviously had a bit of an illness.
Yeah.
And even without Diaz, he's just Stones, Cancelo, Laporte, Zinchenko, I think, is at left-back.
Yep.
Barely saw any of the ball.
No, I know. I think, obviously, we talk about how good Gündoğan's been over recent weeks, but I think there's been a real sort of uplift from Cancelo as well. He's
Yeah.
He's running games by himself from right back. And
No, absolutely.
what a player he's becoming.
And imagine having someone like Pirlo or Gerrard or Scholes, but can also play in goal. Because that is what
Just
Ederson is at the moment.
Yeah.
That pass was ridiculous. And you looked up, you saw the run from Gündoğan itself was brilliant. But for him to see that, it was no surprise. Obviously, when it went in, most of the players went to Ederson to celebrate.
Yeah. Well, they were closer.
Yeah.
But also talking of Ederson, I am disappointed they didn't give him the penalty. It's been hyped up.
Yes, Ederson, I think, could have taken a penalty. It would have been a laugh to see him actually do it.
Yeah.
But did you and we come back onto obviously Lloris having, I don't know,
Poppadom
biscuits
wrists.
for wrists or whatever, poppadom wrists or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The penalty itself was awful. It just he scuffed a lot of the ground and it just went through Lloris like it was powerful, but it just wasn't.
Yeah, they showed, what was it, that Ederson was passing a message on to, was it Cancelo, to then pass on to Rodri before the penalty.
Bernardo Silva, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that message was that, because obviously he'll know all the keepers in the league, and he probably knows their strengths and weaknesses, and he's probably said Lloris can't dive down to his right low.
Or it's his right hand, his right wrist. In Everton, Calvert-Lewin's goal itself, he hasn't got a strong enough right wrist, and obviously Gündogan's first goal and the penalty, it showed it. He just goes through it, and he's past it. But Tottenham's backup goalkeeper, you would argue, was also past it.
Joe Hart, who's also very susceptible from long range goals. So you can't.
Yes, he can't dive to his left. I don't think. So
you want both of them playing, really.
We go on to the good. Let's talk some bad. Crystal Palace. That's not a nice segue, but what's happened? I say what's happened. I guess they've never really been amazing, but I
mean, they're looking bad. They really are. Burnley scored 3, and Burnley don't score 3 in games. They just don't. I think the last time I can remember them scoring 3 was a 3-2 against Chelsea, where I think it was Chelsea's first game as defending champions, and they won away at Stamford Bridge. But it just doesn't happen. But you never really see Crystal Palace pick up points, but they're never really in danger.
They're an odd one, aren't they? Because looking at their form, they've lost to Burnley and Leeds. Obviously, they've lost to West Ham, who've done great this season, and Man City, and drew to Arsenal. Yeah. But they've beaten Wolves, they've beaten Newcastle, who are in and around where they are at the moment. I'm not saying Crystal Palace are relegation contenders, but they're not European challengers. They're just there. Yeah. They're just there every year, aren't they?
They just kind of fill the numbers.
That's it. They drew, obviously, before Christmas, they drew against West Ham and they drew against Tottenham, and they beat West Brom 5-1. They're an odd one. Sometimes they're okay. Sometimes they're just really not. And it's probably time for a change. I know Hodgson is... I say he's past it. Did he ever have it? I mean, he took Fulham to the Europa League final, I guess.
He has managed some big clubs. I think his prime wasn't here. It was kind of in Italy. I think he managed Inter Milan in the days where they were truly one of the biggest clubs in Europe. But since kind of coming back to England maybe 10 years ago, he probably overachieved at Fulham. He underachieved at Liverpool, and I'd say he underachieved in England as well.
His managerial career goes as followed. Okay. Halmstad, Bristol City, Oddvold, Orembro, Malmo, I'm not saying that name, Switzerland, Inter Milan, Blackburn Rovers, Inter Milan as caretaker, Grasshoppers, Copenhagen, Udinese, United Arab Emirates, Viking, Finland, Fulham, Liverpool, West Brom, England under 21 as caretaker. Didn't know that. And Crystal Palace. When did that happen?
No, I know, but...
Yeah, I get it. He's had some serious, he's had a good career abroad, but, I've never rated him, but...
Since Fulham, he's never really kind of achieved very much. I don't know if that's harsh, but he hasn't overachieved since Fulham.
Yeah, and Burnley, again, extending their lead from the relegation spot, which they're comfortable now. Obviously, they can look over their shoulder, and there's a bit of a gap between them now. When you look at the bottom 3 now of Fulham, West Brom, Sheffield United, 18th Fulham and 10 points it is from Fulham to 17th. And that's Newcastle.
Yeah.
Newcastle have just been relying on the teams below them to be bad, and fair enough, it seems to have worked because they have. But Burnley have obviously, there's an 11-point gap now. Fulham I think have Everton later.
Yeah.
We're recording this in between the Arsenal-Leeds game, which is now 4-2, which is interesting.
Yep.
Surely
20
not.
minutes to play.
And obviously, I can't see them getting obviously, through a goal curse, can't see them getting anything from the Everton game. You watch this re-release on Tuesday, they win 3-0.
Yep.
No, it seems like the bottom three are all but done. I'll be surprised if there is a massive change. And the Premier League winner, I think, is all but done, I guess. So it's just a battle for the top four.
Yeah, no,
and that's it.
I'd agree, really. It's top 4, top 6. I mean, there's a lot of money between, 4 or 5 places in the table, but in terms of actual changes to the league, it's all but done, really.
Yeah, and it's a shame because Klopp, again, he came out and lost again to a very good Leicester side.
Yes.
But I'll ask you a question in a second.
Okay.
Klopp's conceded. He came out, didn't he? He said he's conceded the title. He's like, yeah, I have. Based on form, I think in the last 10 games or something like that, they're 15th.
Yeah, it's really not good. They're not the Liverpool team that were blowing everyone away every game last season.
No.
And, I mean, can massively put that down to centre-backs, or it can be a little bit of burnout, or it could be a number of things, but they're not hitting the heights of last season.
Quickly coming on to that Liverpool game, Kabak or Alisson, who's at fault?
At fault, I think, is maybe, I don't know whether it's the right phrase or the phrase that I'd use, but I think I would go Kabak simply because Liverpool have played that way with a sweeper keeper for as long as Alisson's been there. He's come and claimed those balls for as long as he's been number one at Liverpool. And the problem isn't Kabak's gone to clear it. The problem is that the people who have played in front of Alisson all this season, they don't know the system. That if they've been there long enough, they've been up in midfield. They don't know. I think when you're training with each other all day, every day for years, it's telling when somebody comes in and they don't really know the system, know what happens. I think Van Dijk leaves that to Alisson.
That's not Alisson's ball to get. That is absolutely. I know they play it like that, but when I've watched that replay over and over again with the ball over the top, and Kabak's got it. I can't see him really stretching to clear it, or if you know what I mean, or it's going way over his head. He's got it. And Klopp said in his interview he didn't hear a shout. Now, regardless if they've played that way where Alisson plays like that, you've got to at least shout keepers. You've got to at least shout, mine. Especially if there's a defender in front of you that doesn't know or is not quite familiar with the system of play. That's the prime time to start communicating. I don't think that's Alisson's to get. I don't. He starts running out, I think, and then he starts going back into his box, and then he pegs it out, and it looks like Kabak's got it to me. It looks like I say got it. It looks like he'll probably just hoof it. Yeah, but I think he's got that kind of control over it. I don't think. I think it is Barnes. I think it is on the left challenging for it. I don't think he's winning it. From my point of view, looking at it, and I don't know, maybe that's lack of trust in Alisson, obviously, with the centre-back in front of him, 20, he's 20, he's only on loan from Schalke, he's 20, he's new to the country, he's new to the system, he's not first choice, he is not a Liverpool first choice centre-back. He came in, he seemed to do okay for the first majority of the game, but it's Thiago as well, the Harvey Barnes' third goal, Thiago's just left him for dead. Back, obviously there's still a bit of a gap, but it is a tricky one. Quite disappointing, I think, Thiago. I mean, I don't think we've seen anywhere near his best in the Premier League because since he's come in, all we've really seen him do is get injured and get booked. But yeah, going back to Alisson, I thought at the time of it happening, I thought, is this dodgy decision making like it was last week against Man City? But then he pulled out probably one of his better saves he's ever made. It's one of the most best save of the season. That was absolutely incredible. So you can't just say, his head's gone or whatever. He's still making those saves, but I think his decision. I think some of I'd say 3 of the top 4 keepers in the world are known for just pegging out a goal. Ederson, Alisson, Neuer. The only one who's kind of in that top tier of goalkeepers doesn't do that is Oblak, and he's just he's just a rock. He's just a shot stopper. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. FA Cup action. Now, the main game, obviously, we've alluded to it a bit earlier on, but one of the main games, obviously, was Everton v Tottenham, 5-4. Ridiculous game. Absolutely ridiculous game. But that's another shot at silverware gone for Tottenham. Very good chance, I think, for Everton to win the FA Cup. I think I know Man City are still in it, but
they've got Man City in the next round.
But I think if Everton take it like seriously, if we have a look at the FA Cup like fixtures, Everton, Man City, obviously still in it.
Yep.
The rest of the teams are Bournemouth, Southampton, Leicester, Man U, Chelsea, Sheffield United. Now, out of those, if Everton say get through to Man City, they're facing either Bournemouth or Southampton.
Okay, has that next draw been made then?
Oh wait, no.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. On the way it's laid out on the map,
yeah,
it looks like they beat that.
No, I see.
But if Everton get through Man City, I think they could beat Bournemouth and Southampton. Leicester and Man U is obviously going to be a challenge, but based on this season, like anything can happen. And obviously Chelsea, Sheffield United, it's a good chance for Everton to get some silverware this season. And I think based on this season, they deserve something to show for it.
Yeah.
And what better way to do it than the FA Cup?
Yeah, and Ancelotti will be seeing this. Obviously, league's gone. They're probably a real outside chance at top 4, but it's unlikely. So their biggest chance of a positive season is the FA Cup. And so I can see Ancelotti taking that extremely seriously.
You say that, but Everton have 3 games in hand over 4th place Liverpool, and they are only 3 points behind them.
That's a good point, but then West Ham and Chelsea are up there, and Man City and United I don't think are going away. I would think Leicester have probably got enough to stick around there, and I do think that this is a blip for Liverpool. I don't think they're going to be looking outside top 4, 5 maybe, but
well,
I know the blue side of Merseyside would love to finish in 4th place above Liverpool.
No, of course they would. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that when you look at Everton's net, they've got Fulham, which will be after we record, but then they've got Man City on Wednesday, Liverpool on Saturday, Merseyside derby on Saturday.
That Merseyside derby is going to be massive.
Yes, huge for both. Absolutely. And then after that, they've got Southampton, and after that, they've got Chelsea. So it's not obviously Southampton current form. Since they beat Liverpool, they've lost 6 in a row. They haven't won a game. So again, that Everton could capitalise on that. And Chelsea, again, new managers settling in. I don't know. But you're back to the FA Cup. Yeah, they looked, obviously attacking-wise, looked obviously comfortable, being scoring 5. That Sigurdsson pass to Bernard was naughty.
Yes. Yeah,
ridiculous.
Very good.
Just a little deft touch over him. It was absolutely.
I was convinced Bernard was offside until saw it back. But it's the old thing of them crossing, isn't it?
But that again, and would you say Lloris is at fault for them, because Bernard and Richarlison pretty much scored the exact same goal to the left, to the keeper's left, and I don't know. I felt the angles were tight enough for a keeper safe. I don't know. I'm not a World Cup winning French goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't make that decision. But
although he did make a mistake. He did make a mistake in that World Cup final, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he pretty much passed it to Mandzukic, didn't he? And he went in. Who would you say favourites for the FA Cup?
I mean, I'd say Man City have to be favourites just because of how they're playing. But I think outsiders, I wonder if Leicester will take it very seriously.
Never won the FA Cup, Leicester, so...
That was in a previous quiz, wasn't it?
It was, yes. They've been in the final most times without a win.
Yeah, I think...
Is that right? Or was that Everton? No,
I think that was right. I think Everton have won it.
No, yeah, it was Leicester, yeah. But yeah, no, Leicester, I think, good shout. Obviously, they got Man United in the next round.
That's a big one.
Test, because again, Solskjaer will probably want to prove something, at least win some silverware at United. I don't see why he can't. Also, in the Europa League, good chance there.
Also, though, it is probably the biggest opportunity for there being a re-release of Southampton in Europa, because I can't see them getting top 6. I'd love to see it, but I think the FA Cup is Southampton's biggest chance at European football.
You just want to hear that
song. I do. I love it.
That's it. You don't care about Southampton. You just need to hear the song.
Yeah.
I think that was the main takeaway, really, from the FA Cup action this week. Not much. There was no real shocks, I don't think.
No. The big
from this week's FA Cup.
Probably the biggest shock was that Barnsley held on as long as they did against Chelsea. But obviously that's not a shock because Chelsea ended up winning.
Obviously Southampton won, Man City won, Leicester won, Sheffield United beat Bristol City, who have been on an awful run of form. We'll talk about that in a second. And Everton beat Tottenham, who, haven't exactly been set the world on fire. So, that's a bit of brush. There you go, there's your roundup of the FA Cup.
Yep.
EFL, Bristol City, what's happened? Where's it gone wrong? Because they were playoff contenders at one point. I think I remember us talking about a fair few podcasts ago now, but when we were talking about the playoffs and the teams in and around it, Bristol City were mentioned.
Yeah, no, I remember talking about it. I remember just sort of every Saturday seeing Chris Martin score for Bristol City, and I don't know, it's just not happening for them anymore, is it? You've got, was it 6-0 against Watford at the weekend? Was it 4-0 at half time? And you just don't expect that. You obviously expect Watford to be up there or thereabouts with the players that they've got in their squad, but you don't expect that from Bristol City.
They've lost 6 of their last 8. Their 2 wins coming from Huddersfield and Preston. But yeah, no, they obviously lost to Derby, 3-2 to Brentford, who were difficult. Cardiff are there. 6-0 to Watford. That ruined my Super 6. Thanks for that. Because no one guessed that. Who guessed that? Oh no, I think 6 people guessed it or something stupid like that. But no, Bristol City, they're weird. They're a weird one because I always feel like whenever I look at the Championship table at the end, towards the end of the season, they're always like there, or at the beginning of the season, they're always there, but then they're never in there. They're always kind of around, but they're never.
They'll always finish 7th.
they're the nearly team. But talking about teams off of form, it's only when I looked at the Championship table, I knew Birmingham were on a very, very poor run of form this year. I knew they hadn't done very well, but they're second from bottom. I guess I just kind of was a bit. I knew they were bad.
Didn't know they were that bad.
I look at the table. Do you know what I mean? I look at the table every week. Every week I look at the table, but I swear I've never seen Birmingham there before. But lo and behold, they are sitting above Wickham. Good win for them, by the way. 2-0 down to Huddersfield, 3-2. But they've won the least amount of games bar Wickham this season. That's awful. And Karanka's obviously in charge, who former Forest.
Former Forest, former Middlesbrough.
Yeah. Former Forest. Yeah. So he's got previous in the Championship. You'd think he'd know how to keep a team at least there. But your thoughts?
I know that Karanka sort of plays sort of very rigid football. It's not particularly creative. It did the job at Middlesbrough when they had money to spend, basically. But obviously Birmingham don't have money to spend, and they're not scoring goals, and which is sort of common for a Karanka team. But what's not common is the amount of goals they're conceding. Conceded 35 goals this season, and there's not a lot of teams that conceded a lot more. But yeah, only Derby has scored less goals than them this season, and they're just
wow.
For probably the best part of a decade, I've always just seen Birmingham as that team. They're never even really going to particularly challenge for playoffs, but they're never really going to be in much threat of going down. The same way I think many people saw Ipswich for a long, long time. And this might be the year for Birmingham. Imagine Birmingham playing in League One while Coventry play their home games at St Andrews in the Championship.
In the Championship. Oh, that rubs the salt in the wounds a bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
Also, what's telling for...
I can't figure that ever happening before.
What's telling as well for Birmingham is that they don't have any games in hand over anyone. You've got Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham with games in hand, even Derby, but they're down there and they haven't even got the opportunity to pull away.
Wow, and other teams do, so they could be in there for a while now. So... Yeah, I don't know. I think it was worth mentioning Birmingham, obviously, because it was only like 10 years ago they won the EFL trophy. They were, they've been in the Premier League for a good fair amount of time, and
yeah, they were a big team.
Now they're looking at League One. Yeah. League One will start being a team full of quotation big teams. Because one of the things obviously to come from this week is every Sunderland, Charlton, Portsmouth fan celebrating was the cap. Yeah. The salary cap has been removed, which is fair enough. Obviously, I understand if you're a team that's making a massive amount of income, why should you be punished for it? And I completely see both sides of the argument. As a Gillingham point of view, I quite liked it. It gave everyone a fair chance, but I get it from the sense of, if we've got a 50,000 seat stadium, we're bringing in this revenue.
We can't spend it, yeah.
Why shouldn't we spend it? Yeah, no, I completely appreciate that. Steve Evans, what was it? It was only like last week that we had Sunderland fans on the strings, and that was just from a draw. Charlton fans, oh my word, they're a different breed. So basically, it was about an hour before the game, big old Steve Evans walked onto the pitch and didn't want to play. He was like, no, I don't want to play this. The ground's too hard. It's too frozen. I don't want to play. Charlton fans get all big like, oh, Steve, of course he doesn't want to play, and everything like that, getting all loud. Fine, we'll play it. And I tell you what, we'll score the goal of your life on that pitch. Because I've seen a volley at the Valley. You know this. It's one of the best goals I've ever seen live. Robin Van Persie featured Cheltenham. But my God, what a goal. Conor Ogilvie, you're obviously we'll come on to the whole part of League One in a second, because your note says League One is bad, Conor Ogilvy's left foot isn't. I can't think of a fairer assessment than that, to be honest. But have you ever known a saltier?
Oh, it's hilarious! It's hilarious because
he is. Oh my god!
What was it? I only really came across him when we played them. What was it? A couple of months ago. We actually won the game, and they and it was all the comments of what was it? The analyst's video has showed that this shouldn't have been a red card. It's like, shut up! It's so soft.
Yeah. He got booked for out muscling an opponent. I'm pretty sure he threw him to the ground. And then the second one, obviously, it was a stupid red card. It's stupid 2 yellows to get in like 2 or 3 minutes. Ridiculous. Obviously, scoring 30 seconds in changes anyone's game plan, and it was a brilliant start. Obviously, Charlton equalised, but then Gillingham go 2-1, and 86th minute, Carl Dempsey, I love him. He's been an absolute proper good side in this season. He's really shored up some field problems in Gillingham, and he was linked with us. Fair, I don't want to sound like Steve Evans, but he was linked with a fair few bigger clubs, but he chose Gillingham. Maybe a salary cap might have something to do with it. I don't know. Be interested to see next season who we bring in. But I couldn't believe it. It was an amazing win. Gillingham still have a game in hand over a few people. I think if we win that, we're 4 points off playoffs. I say it every week. I'm not going to get excited. Gillingham are in League One next season, but if we win the next game, we're in the playoffs. So,
and beating us in the playoff final.
My prediction that you laughed at the beginning of the season, it's not a far off possibility based on form, and I'll let you describe. Let's talk about first, though, January's manager of the month. Grant McCann, what a manager. January, manager of the month. You've got to say, look at your face, you're agreeing with me. I wish people could see the video, because he's smiling and clapping. That's a good segue.
I don't know how on earth he's managed to pull off manager of the month. That is, I mean, we got some wins at the beginning of the month. Let me just get up our results. So January was the before mentioned win against Charlton, draw against Sunderland, draw against Blackpool. Obviously, massive wins against Accrington and Portsmouth, and then 2-0 loss away at Accrington where we were awful. And I mean, it's a decent set of results. But you look at Doncaster, who I think they won something like 7 out of 8. There's no way that Grant McCann deserves manager of the month. And I just can't stand watching us at the moment. We're not scoring goals. We're always conceding late on. We've scored 1 goal in our last 5 league games. And that's manager of the month territory, is it? But we're not scoring. We're not conceding much, but we're conceding late. And we're not picking up points. And we're slowly going to start dropping down the table. There's teams with games in hand that are going to keep picking up the points and go above us. And I think if nothing changes, we're destined for playoffs at best. And to quote Claude from Arsenal Fan TV, it's time to go. He's the luckiest man in...
Right, okay, never thought that would come up.
He's the luckiest man in the world to still have a job after last season, after the 8-0 defeat to Wigan, who, suitably, we play on Wednesday night away at Wigan, first time we've been back since. And it's just depressing football. We're not creating. Well, we are creating, we're just not finishing. And I think the fans have run out of patience with him. His post-match interviews are awful. It very much seems like deflection constantly. And... yeah, nothing would please me more than to get him gone and for us to get a new manager in with new ideas and with the ability to change formation every once in a while. If it doesn't suit the game, we don't change it. I think he was quoted as saying, "Plan B is to be better at Plan A," and that's not great.
That's not how plans
exactly.
work.
And if Plan A is found out, then there is no. It's frustrating.
Be better, even though they know exactly what you're going to do. Be better at it. No,
and it does feel like we've very much been found out in recent weeks.
Obviously, as we're talking now, Accrington are winning and Lincoln are losing at the moment. But every team below Hull up to Charlton, so 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, all have games in hand over Hull. And third, Peterborough have 2 games in hand, are level on points. Obviously, Doncaster, Portsmouth and Peterborough are all either level on points or 1 point behind, with minimum 2 games in hand over Hull. Now, I do apologise, Doncaster, for the through-on-goal curse, because we said, wow, they're doing very well. And whenever we say someone or something or anything's going to happen or do well, it goes to the complete opposite. So, Elliot's not sorry. I am. Peterborough, though, their next game in hand on Tuesday is against the Mighty
Gills.
Now, Peterborough have had an absolutely amazing season. What a season. Best season I've ever seen them play. I think they're going to win the league. So, yeah, that's that. But one of my favourite things about League One at the moment, and it's tight. The whole table is just tight. It's really close. But especially from 18th down to 24th, there is 4 points that separate those teams. Rochdale, Wimbledon, Wigan out of the relegation zone. Then in the relegation zone, the Bristol Rovers, Swindon, Northampton and Burton at bottom. 4 points separate all of those.
It's crazy, isn't it?
7 teams.
Yeah.
4 relegation spots, 7 teams separated by 4 points. That, I love it. I love see that is what you love to see in, like, you know, in league football, you know. Obviously not for those teams. But from a mutual point of view, there's some fight and there's actually, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, it brings some excitement to it, doesn't it?
Before we go on to the quiz, it's back. Champions League is also back. And Neymar obviously will not be playing because it's his sister's birthday.
In about 3 weeks,
Happy birthday, Neymar, sister. I don't know her name. But no, Barcelona PSG, which if it's... I mean, it's not going to be like the last time, is it? But
no, that was one of the greatest games I've ever seen. But yeah, it should be a tasty fixture. Probably the standout tie, isn't it?
That is really this. Obviously, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, with Tuchel in charge. I still can't say Tuchel or whatever. Tuchel in charge. That could be a good game. Obviously, Atalanta, Real Madrid. That's got Atalanta winning written all over it because Real Madrid just don't seem to win against those sides.
No, I know. You think back to...
Didn't they face each other last year?
I can't remember. They might have faced each other in the group stages. But you think back to games like, was it Shakhtar Donetsk did the double over Real Madrid in the group stages this season? And yeah, it's that kind of game that they'll end up losing. Although Alejandro Gomez, one of Atalanta's better players, has since joined Seville. So that's one less player for Real Madrid to worry about.
But one thing that we can all hope for is if Liverpool beat Leipzig and Barcelona do beat PSG, we have a Liverpool beat Barcelona 2-legger game, which again, anything like the last time, we could be. But the champions, what I loved about the chat, because obviously due to COVID restriction and everything like that, they're having to play some games in mutual stadiums.
Yeah,
I say get the format like last year. I loved it. It was really enjoyable.
Just leave it until the end of the season and play it in a bubble, basically.
Literally, just wait until end of the season. Obviously, it's the Euro, so it might be a bit more difficult, but it was brilliant.
It was fun,
I loved
wasn't it? Every other day there was games, yeah.
But Champions League is back, and obviously Europa League as well back. So European football back this week. We've got more. There'll be more to talk about, which is good.
Absolutely,
we love talking about football. Don't know if you've noticed. And yeah, can't wait.
The best thing for me is that on Tuesday and Wednesday there's 2 games each night for the Champions League. But on Thursday, there's about 400 Europa League games, and I can't wait for that.
There's always so many, isn't there? There's always loads.
And it's, probably standout tie, and that is Sociedad against Man United. Obviously, the second leg of that. Actually, that probably wouldn't be allowed to be played in the UK, but otherwise it would have been David Silva's return to Manchester.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's been a while, but let's return. We have another quiz in the quest for who is better at football quizzes.
Yep.
I'll put that on I'll put that on the trophy. Yep. Because of the big fat quiz of the year, Elliot is now 7-3 ahead. I'm not best pleased. I'm very not happy. However, we like a good comeback. We like a good underdog story. We love the underdog. We don't like the bearded person that's ahead. I don't know, sorry, I was trying to insult you, but let's start. There's no better way to do it. Let's just do it. So, okay. Elliot, you do the honours. You go first.
That's the first question. Okay. So, question number 1. Which Englishman is the club record goal scorer for Cypriot team AC Omonia?
What? What? Right, okay. What? Why? How is that your first question?
I could give you a clue if need be.
Sure.
He now plays in the A-League.
Do you know what? Right. And I promise you, he could still be wrong. I was going to say Adam Lafondra for some reason.
Okay.
I'm still sticking with Adam Lafondra.
Going with Alf.
Alf, big Alf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super sub.
That's incorrect. It's Matt Derbyshire.
Oh, is it really? Right, okay.
Yeah.
I was honestly, I was going to say Adam Lafondra, but because he's gone everywhere, isn't he?
He's played everywhere.
All right then. Well, my one seems really easy in comparison to yours. Number 1, Elliot. Who played in the Premier League first, Swansea or Cardiff?
I'm trying to work this out. So Cardiff, I think, did it under Malky Mackay after being that nearly team for about 3 seasons. But I think Swansea did it first under Brendan Rodgers. So I'm gonna go Swansea.
He's too easy. Stop the count. It's too easy.
I think they beat Reading in the playoff final.
I don't know what Elliot. Your first question was a Cypriot.
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah, my next question is combining one of your other loves aside from football. What is your second love after football?
Oh, is this a trick question?
Don't second interest. So
film.
What specifically?
Star Wars.
Okay, so which Premier League team does Mark Hamill support? Again, I can give you I don't even know if it's a clue.
Don't give us a clue.
Okay.
No. I've got a 1 in 20 chance.
Yeah.
Leicester.
No, although geographically not a million miles away, it was Wolves.
Right? Okay.
Accidentally, because apparently on Twitter he was liking stuff about wolves, the animals, and he liked a few tweets on Twitter about Wolverhampton Wanderers. And
that's made him a supporter, right?
So he was asked about it, and he said, "From now on, I'm a Wolves fan." Hashtag
Good for
Wolves.
him.
Yeah,
fair enough. Not the worst. Right, Elliot. In 2014, Atletico Madrid became the first team other than Real Madrid or Barcelona to win La Liga since who in 2004?
Good question.
Thank you.
I can tell you where I was the day that title got decided. I was at Wembley.
2004?
No, the 2014 one. It was at Wembley for the FA Cup final. It all happened on the same day. It's going to be someone like either Real Sociedad, Malaga, or I'm going to go with this other one just because I remember them being in the Champions League. So I'm going to go Deportivo La Coruña.
No.
Oh.
It was Valencia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. They might have had David Villa at that time. And
I think they had a cracking squad, yeah.
So you might have seen this stat today. How many players have scored 30 or more Premier League goals since the start of last season?
I haven't seen that. Start of last season?
Since the start of last season, yeah.
30 or more. 4.
Correct.
Oh my God, I was this close to saying 3. Can I get a bonus point if I can name all 4?
If you can name all 4, I'll give you a bonus point. Yeah.
Right, because I had Salah, Kane, and Vardy, but then I was thinking, who else? There's got to be one more person, and I can't think of who it is. And I was going Aubameyang, but I didn't think it was Aubameyang because this season he's not been very good. Well, he scored a hat trick, but before that. And then I think the 4th person's Danny Ings.
I shouldn't have given the bonus point. That's 2.
That's
2. So spot on. That's cracking. I was going to put that in the podcast as we love a great stat. But I thought, you know what, that'll do well in the quiz.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, I was this close to saying 3, but I was thinking I'm pretty sure Danny Ings last season was like one-off top scorer, and this season he's carried on scoring. So it's
see if I were you, I would have probably thought Calvert-Lewin as well. He can't be
not
far
after
off.
last season.
He did well once Ancelotti came in, though.
Yeah, but 30. Like, across the whole season, I think Ings was 22 goals.
Yeah.
And I know he scored, like, more this... Well, not more than 22, but you know what I mean. But, yeah, okay. Oh, that's okay. Thank you, Elliot.
In it, yeah.
Number 3. At the age of 17 years and 133 days, who became the youngest Englishman to play in the Champions League? Or who is the youngest Englishman to play in the Champions League? At 17 years, 133 years.
Oh, I want to say Ryan Brewster, but I don't know if he ever actually played. I know he obviously got his haircut. He didn't play that season, but I know he got his haircut with his winner's medal that he deserved just as much as I did. I'm gonna say, just because it kind of lines up, I think he must be English. I'm gonna say Harvey Elliott.
No, it was held by Phil Foden.
Okay.
But it was broken in October by Borussia Dortmund's Jude Bellingham.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't have even thought of that. I wouldn't have even thought of it. Yeah. It's all gone downhill for Birmingham since he's left, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's it. No wonder they retired. We all laughed when they retired his shirt number, but yeah, the influence he had.
So, yeah, my next one is, before İlkay Gündoğan did this week, who was the last player not named Bruno Fernandes to win the Premier League Player of the Month?
The first name that came to my head, I'm going to say it. First name that came to my head was Jamie Vardy. So I'm going to lock that in. It
wasn't. It was Heung-min Son.
Oh, do you know what? Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, Bruno won it 2 months in a row.
Oh, right, okay. Elliot, number 4. Who is the only Premier League team to win the league on goal difference?
I I want to say it was Blackburn. It was because it was them or United, and I think Blackburn lost with United getting a draw on the last game of the season. If they'd have won, they'd have. So I'm gonna go Blackburn.
Incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Does the name Balotelli Aguero mean anything to you?
Of
That
course.
league, that was decided on goal difference.
Of course it was.
Yep. Man United won against Sunderland, I think it was. Man City, all they need to do was win because of the superior goal difference. Yeah. So Man City are the only team to win the league on goal difference.
Oh, okay. So where was the last FA Cup final to be held that wasn't at the Millennium Stadium or either of the Wembley stadiums? Which stadium was it held at?
Do you know what I was thinking to myself? Well, it's got to be London or Cardiff. Do you know what I mean? It's one of the. That's a good answer. That's a good question. Now, I know all the semi-finals used to be played at Villa Park.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it ever held a final. And I know Old Trafford, I believe, held a Champions League final at one point. So that would make, I think it was Juventus or something. I can't remember, but I know I think it's held a Champions League final because obviously Wembley was being built.
Was it the Champions League final that Mourinho won with Porto? Was that at Old Trafford?
No, I think Porto beat Man United. That's
I know.
where he
Yeah,
ran down
I know.
the touchline.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I know.
Old Trafford to me is the only one that sounds realistic enough to be a stadium to host a final like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of many stadiums. St James's Park, but again, you're borderline in Villa Park with that. Old Trafford. I'm saying Old Trafford.
Was Old Trafford. It was the 1969-70 FA Cup final replay, which they played the first game at Wembley. And for the life of me, I can't find out why they played the replay at Old Trafford. Neither team were Man United. And,
I was going to say, was it because Man United didn't win?
No, it's a famous game as well, because having had modern referees look back over the game, there should have been at least 6 red cards and 20 yellow cards. It was like a proper sort of prison.
Who was
rules.
it again? Who was it?
I want to say it was Arsenal versus Chelsea. It was like, I know Chelsea was one of them because it said about Ron Chopper Harris.
Right,
yeah.
Okay then, Elliot, number 5. During Stoke's awful 2018-19 season, they had 13 penalties. How many did they score?
I think I saw something about teams missing penalties, and I think Stoke missed 6 penalties. So I'd say they scored 7.
Wrong. Ooh. You in that graphic, Stoke missed 10 penalties. They only scored 3.
Was that the year? Was it Jonathan Bolton scored an own goal and was it missed a penalty and scored 2 own goals, or scored an own goal and missed 2 penalties? It was one of them.
Wow. Well, yeah. Oh no, I do remember that. It was because they had a borderline Premier League team, didn't they? Like some of the players they had.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 13. You think Man City got problems?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, fair play for even getting that many.
Yeah.
My next question is: in all competitions, has Conor Ogilvie scored more goals or less goals than last season?
Less. He scored a fair few goals last season.
That is correct. It is less. He scored 4 last season.
I remember him scoring a fair. I remember scoring a couple. I think it was in a row or something like that last season. He was all right last season. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, looking good here. Elliot, number 6. Who is the only English club that Neil Lennon has managed?
The first thing that popped into my head. Yeah, first thing that popped into my head is Blackburn. So I'm going to go with them.
No, Bolton.
Oh, okay, right sort of area.
Do you remember? Do you not remember him managing Bolton? It wasn't a very good season.
I can't remember it. No,
that's fair enough.
No.
Okay then.
Yep. So my next one: which Englishman has scored the most goals in the MLS? Out of because you're not getting Bradley Wright Phillips.
I was going to say.
So out of Steven Gerrard, David Beckham, Wayne Rooney, and Frank Lampard.
It has to be David Beckham. Rooney played there for a season or 2. Lampard was only 1 season. Gerrard, I think, was only 1 or 2 seasons. Surely it has to be Beckham. So I'm going David Beckham.
Okay, it's not David Beckham.
Is it not? Wow.
Steven Gerrard, 5 goals.
Okay.
Frank Lampard, 15.
Fair play.
David Beckham, 18.
David Beckham, 18.
Wayne Rooney, 23.
He scored 23 goals. Oh, fair enough.
He scored 23 goals, yeah.
Fair enough, prove me wrong, but apologise, Mr. Rooney.
Yeah.
Well done.
Because he was the MLS poster boy, wasn't he?
Yeah, what, Rooney?
No,
David
Beckham.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He's got a statue at LA Galaxy. He reinvented, like, you know what I mean? Like MLS soccer in America. So.
Yeah, football.
You ready to play some football? Oh, Elliot, hope this is either going to backfire massively on me or it's going to be quite a good question. Should be a fairly easy question for you. Number 7 is, who is Hull City's number 25?
Oh, Jesus. I see, I've never really been one for knowing shirt numbers. 2. Oh, this could be a real trick question. It could be Max Clark, who's just signed and he hasn't actually played for us since re-signing. I don't think it's not Crowley. I don't think it's McGuinness. Wilkes is 7. It's not. I think KLP's 19. Only thing that I can think of is Josh Emmanuel. So I'm going to go with him.
Incorrect. It is Festus Arthur.
Oh, that's evil. I think he's out on loan as well at the moment.
No, he's registered. I made sure.
Oh no, he's done his ACL or something. He played, I think, 1 game in the Pizza Cup. That is horrible, but fair play.
What? Because if I said something like, who is their number 42? Do you know what I mean? It's difficult. But 25 is a fairly common.
It's yeah.
That's why I went for it. Elliot, not to sound, your quiz answering on my quiz looks like Hull City's form from January to May last year, because it started all right. You got 1 win, but then you've not answered one correctly since.
I shouldn't have given you the bonus point, should I?
No, you were very, very nice to do that.
So, yeah, my next question is, who is Holland's record goal scorer? Simple question.
I've got 3 answers. Can I have a point if I get one of them?
No.
I've got 4 now.
Okay.
Right. Holland. Choice of right. I've got 4. What? It's either Johan Cruyff, Huntelaar, Ruud van Nistelrooy, or Robin van Persie. Can I have a slight clue if you tell me if it's... Because if it's not one of those 4, I'm passing the question because I have no idea. Or you're not going to tell me, are you?
Well, you're going to pick one of those 4 regardless, aren't you? So, yes, it is one of those 4.
Johan Cruyff and Van Persie feel like are the obvious ones. But maybe it's one of those where it's so obvious. It is. And Huntelaar is one of those players that just scores goals. But you wouldn't think of him as being Holland's all-time record goal scorer. Now, Huntelaar.
Huntelaar is 2nd on the list. Behind, he scores when he wants, Robin van Persie.
Oh,
it's already been mentioned once in this podcast. Also, you didn't mention Van Basten.
Oh, didn't matter anyway.
Yeah, it was wrong. So yeah, it was Robin van Persie.
And who's 3rd?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I was going to say, because if I got the top 4, I would have been quite happy with that.
Yeah,
but...
I'm not sure.
Right, okay then. Elliot, in 2018-2019, what team lost 10 London derbies?
2018-19. So not last season, the season before. Would they have been in the Premier League? I've got to. I'm going to say Fulham. I don't even know if they're in the league.
Fulham is correct.
Yes.
Fulham is correct. Well done. Nice. Fair enough.
It was that or West Ham. My next question is one of my least favourite footballers in the Premier League. How many goals has Patrick Bamford scored this season against former clubs?
Oh, you... Oh, he's played for everyone. In the Premier League, his former clubs are Chelsea. I'm guessing these are people that he's been on loan to as well.
Yeah.
Who's he been on loan to? 2 goals.
2 goals.
Yeah.
It's 3.
Oh, you...
Scored 1 against Chelsea.
Yeah.
And 2 against Crystal Palace.
Oh, that's so annoying. I thought for some reason I didn't. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think of Crystal Palace, but I thought he scored 2 against Chelsea, and that's why. I picked 2.
Yeah.
Okay, Elliot, number 9. Frank Lampard went on loan once in his career. To who?
Oh God. Because I presume he started at West Ham. Well, he did start at West Ham, and then the only thing that pops out is that he went to stay with Uncle Harry. in Bournemouth. So I'm going to say Bournemouth.
It's incorrect, I'm afraid. Swansea. Yep.
I could have guessed all night.
I had to Google Frank Lampard in a Swansea shirt because I didn't quite believe it. And yeah, he did. He played 9 games. I think he scored 1 goal.
Oh, wow. So this last one,
Is this the final question?
Yeah.
What are our points? Just so we know if it's worth playing for.
You're on 4.
You're on 2.
Okay, well, this final one, I really don't expect you to get in the slightest.
The thing is, just to let you know, my final question is half a point for each. Half a point for 2, and there's 4 answers.
Okay.
Oh, so you can only get 1. That's a shame.
You're not...
Half a point. No, I'm sorry. That's my GCSE
Are you going to go
maths.
Are you going to go half a point for each answer? So then there is a maximum of 2. Okay.
We'll see if I win.
Okay.
I need all the points I can get.
I really don't expect you to get this. So this is probably even harsher than number 1. This is probably even harsher than that Derbyshire.
Thanks.
So how did Iranian footballer Malid Mohammadi go viral during the 2018 World Cup?
Who?
Malid Mohammadi.
There's only one thing that I can think of. And if it's right, I'm well happy. I think he's the player that tried to do a forward flip throw-in and he failed miserably.
That is correct. Yeah! That is correct. He did the roly-poly and stopped.
He did, yeah. And he don't know what he was doing. Oh, man, I'm well happy with that. Okay. So I've got 5.
You've got 5, yeah.
So even if I give you...
You've won.
Well, okay, well, just to play then.
Yeah.
Elliot, Emmanuel Adebayor has played for 4 clubs in the Premier League. Can you name them all?
Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Man City.
Crystal Palace was the team I didn't think you'd... I thought that would be the thinker, if you know what I mean, because he only played like 9 games for him.
Yeah, he didn't play a lot, did he?
No, but fair enough. Well done. You get 1 point for that.
Yeah.
So you end 3, and I've got...
you got 5. Did you see as well when I knew you'd clocked onto it? I moved behind the little mic.
You did move behind the mic
because then you wouldn't see me laughing.
You moved behind the mic, but I was thinking, is he having a drink? What's he doing? But brilliant. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. So that makes it 7-4 on the table. Here we go. We love a good underdog. Come on, guys. We love good stats. We love a good underdog. Elliot, shall we end the podcast now?
Yes.
Would you like to hear a pun?
Let's do it.
Okay then. After my last pun, I don't think I'm ever going to top it, but I think I found one.
No. Yeah.
And I don't think I found one that's going to top it because even I was.
Yeah.
I still tell it to people and I still laugh. But yes, I'm going to end the pun. I'm going to say the pun. I'm going to end the podcast, and then that is it. So Elliot, they say if you shave it off, it grows back thicker. Oh, can't wait to see my new penis. So we thank you very much for listening to this week's podcast. I have been Sam. That's been Elliot. Yes, been Elliot. I deliberated for ages whether to say that pun. Literally before we started, there's about 2 minutes of me going, should I say it? Is that okay? Yeah, God, I'm going to say it.
Yeah, go on. I'll go on then.
Yeah, I'll go on then. Yeah. We are TO Goal Podcast on Twitter. We're on Spotify, Apple, Google, Simplecast, wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube, Through on Goal. Please search for us. We thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for listening. I've been Sam.
I've been Elliot.
And we'll see you next week. Tell your friends and see you next. Bye.
Bye-bye.